Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm coming to you today with my daily theology lesson. It's my daily meditation that I do for myself. I record it and I release it because maybe somebody else out there can get something out of it. It just so happens that I love God. Choose God this day. The bad guys, they sin. The good guys, we sin. We all sin. It's whom you serve. You don't have to be perfect. No one is. No one. Love yourself. Love yourself. Because if you love yourself and nobody else loves you, you'll be okay. And never give up on yourself. Never give up on yourself. Because if you lost everything, you can always rebuild. For those of you who are just tuning in, I focus out at three major religious texts. The Bible, the Quran, and I'm in an introductory Buddhist paperback called The Shape of Suffering. Without no this, there's no that. And everything we say and do has an effect on our senses. Never give up on yourself. Just don't do that. If you lost everything, if you have yourself, you can always rebuild. I try to rotate each of these texts at least twice a week. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on how I'm led to meditate each day. I'm back in the rotation for the Bible. I'm still in Mark chapter 1, and I'm going to pick it up at verse 21. I don't know where I'm going to stop though, because it's a long chapter. And they went into Capernaum, and straightway on the Sabbath day he entered into the synagogue and taught, talking about Christ. And they were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one that had authority, and not as the scribes. And there was in their synagogue a man with an unclean spirit, and he cried out, saying, Let us alone. What have we to do with thee, thou Jesus of Nazareth? Art thou come to destroy us? I know thee who thou art, the Holy One of God. And Jesus rebuked him, saying, Hold thy peace, and come out of him. And talk about the spirit, an unclean spirit in this man. And when the unclean spirit had torn him, and when the unclean spirit had torn him and cried with a loud voice, he came out of him. And they were all amazed, insomuch that they questioned among themselves, saying, What thing is this? What new doctrine is this? For with authority commandeth he even the unclean spirits, and they obey him. And immediately his fame spread abroad throughout all the region round about Galilee. When they were come out of the synagogue, they entered into the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John. But Simon's wife's mother lay sick of fever, and anon they tell him of her. And he came and took her by the hand and lifted her up, and immediately the fever left her, and she ministered unto them. And that even when the sun did set, they brought unto him all that were diseased and them that were possessed with devils. And all the city was gathered together at the door. And he healed many that were sick of divers diseases, and cast out many devils, and suffered not the devils to speak, because they knew him. And in the morning, rising up a great while before day, he went out and departed into a solitary place, and there prayed. And Simon and they that were with him followed after him. And when they had found him, they said unto him, All men seek thee. And he said unto them, Let us go into the next towns, that I may preach there also, for therefore came I forth. And he preached in their synagogues throughout Galilee, and cast out devils. And there came a leper to him, beseeching him, and kneeling down to him, and saying unto him, If thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. And Jesus moved with compassion, put forth his hand and touched him, and saith unto him, I will, be thou clean. And as soon as he had spoken, immediately the leprosy departed from him, and he was cleansed. He straightly charged him, and forthwith sent him away, and saith unto him, See thou say nothing to any man, But go thy way, show thyself to the priest, and offer for thy cleansing those things which Moses commanded, for a testimony unto men. But he went out and began to publish it much, and to But he went out and began to publish it much, and to blaze abroad the matter, insomuch that Jesus could no more openly enter into the city, but was without in desert places, and they came to him from every quarter. So the man, after he healed the leper and told him what not to say, the leper went ahead on and just started telling everybody, so what he asked him not to say. So then it made it difficult for him, because of that, to go into a city when he had asked him not to, for whatever reason, whether it was for his safety or whether he would be just bombarded by so many people, whatever the excuse. But the man didn't listen. So